Hi, good morning. This is BB, and just wanted to make a quick video with something, a thought that I had. I have to think about my situation all the time because I don't really have anything else to do. Because, like I said, my livelihood, which is I work online, and it's been attacked grossly. I cannot set an ad campaign that will be functional and running, and I could, utilize to make money. I've had this website for since 2015, did like late 2015, and I've been using it since then. I've had no problems until the mid year last year. Um, but the whole thing for me was planned. They chased me out of my house. When I say chased me out of my house, I didn't have to leave, but they orchestrated a series of events that would force me to leave. They orchestrated a series of events that would force me to leave. And they know what they were doing. This is why it's called organized. They know what they were doing. And I always will maintain this. If they get caught at some point, which I don't know anymore, because it looks like there's nobody to help us. We're all alone, floundering. There's nobody to really help. It's like they see this as a profitable career because nobody is there to actually help, and the level of confidence they have is through the charts. The level of confidence they have because they know that nobody's doing anything. But anyway, what happened was a series of events was orchestrated to force me to leave my home. Basically, I work online. I had internet in the yard. I was the only one because it was more than one buildings on the property, and it was not individualized. So I was the only one AT&T was giving internet to. It couldn't, So I had to give up the internet when I realized I was being hacked, and I tried to get satellite, and there was no clear line of sight. So I had to move because I work online. But anyway, I'm just looking at how my life has become, how it's ending up here. One of the things that they follow us around and get us frazzled and get us all mixed up and just constantly focusing on just paranoia, and we're all this heightened emotions and all this heightened mental faculties and all these heightened things that are going on, and it's just constant going around and 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 around, just around and 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 around. This is all they want. They come bam, 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 bam at you, day and night, even in your sleep. This morning I woke up, and I woke up to the sound of a click. Like I said, I hear clicks all over my apartment, like circuit breakings. And then I heard, I don't know if I was saying it out loud, or I was saying it in my sleep or not. I said, Plato in the burning heart. Plato. Why would I say Plato in the burning heart? I don't know. Plato. What? I don't know. I woke up to myself either dreaming that, saying that out loud, or having a thought, Plato in the burning heart. I don't know. But I heard a click too as I came into consciousness. So it just come at you, and it's ceaseless. It's unyielding, but this is also to make us look like irrational, and to make us look like we're using drugs. See, society has a way of dismissing people who are using drugs, unless those of them who are lucky, who finds a few family member who really want them to get off the drugs because they care about them. But there's mostly society will just dismiss people who are using drugs and with a sort of irrationality. Well, they're irrational. They're on drugs. Everything that happens to the person, oh, they're on drugs. Something genuine is happening to them, but they're on drugs. Anything bad they're now like, well, it's on drugs. Like either they deserve it or it's in their heads. They're just paranoid because of drug use. But in my case, I don't use drugs voluntarily. The only drugs I use basically is there it goes. Like something to help me sleep, which I use one dose, and then I have melatonin. I have turmeric, I have vitamin D, zinc, iron pills, ester C, and my friend encourages me. I never used to take anything but ibuprofen. I never had a need for anything but ibuprofen. I don't have anything. I don't know what they want. But all I'm saying is they're trying to push this drug angle use. They're trying, it's almost like, I don't know if they want people to believe that we're drug addicts, or if they want to believe we're drug addicts to keep doing this. But what are they doing? Targeting people? They're not targeting them with the intention to help them or to make them better. Whatever they're doing is the intention to create harm and inflict pain and suffering and misery on a person. Whether that person is a drug addict, whether that person is a parolee, whether that person is done time or is evading the law, it doesn't matter. If they're evading the law, then call the law and get them arrested. That's what they're there for. If they have an arrest warrant out, or they're wanted, they're hunted, they're a fugitive, all you got to do is call and have them arrested. It's there. The COVID it has nothing to do with that. A lot of these scams that went out of control, they fall under the guise of this COVID. Part of the scam that I was in last year, part of the hustle, was that you can't arrest anybody because of COVID. No jail was taking them because of COVID. Now, how many people out there probably went through the same thing? They can't arrest somebody, or the person who, even if they're wanted, they won't be arrested because no jail is taking them because of COVID. Okay. Well, they just leave them sitting around outside, just creating havoc, having more fun with their life, and inflicting suffering on other people. So I don't know. So with that being said, this COVID umbrella is over. I believe people are being arrested. Whoever is bad is being arrested. Who has priors is being arrested. See, this is not about COVID anymore. This is not about COVID anymore. So nobody can hide under the umbrella of this COVID, because things are getting back to normal. Even though there's outbreaks here and there, things are getting back to normal. So, with that being said, they want us to look like we're irrational. They want us to look like we're crazy. They want us to look like we're drug addicts. That's what they're going for, really, is to make us look like drug addicts. In my case, I think the people who are doing this, they really want to push that point across. That's like important to their overall plan, to make me look like a drug addict. Now, I don't know if it was something I said, because I said I'm a bit of a conspiracy theorist, I guess. Because when the person was sitting in the dark in their house or whatever, or someone was in there, heaven forbid it was somebody else, I thought I made some assumptions, and my thought process went haywire. I was talking in my own house, of course, and our walls were not adjoining. For her to hear everything I was saying, that would seem like something weird was happening. Like they had to be either sitting around my house or very close to my walls to hear. They had to. My voice is loud, it carries, but I'm speaking now poignantly into the camera, so it's elevated. This is normally how I don't speak. I scream out loud, but when I get angry, I do. See, this is all part of like making They provoke me now. For the whole past year, they have to provoke me into loud speech, aggressive speech, but I'm still in my own house. So they can say, well, this neighbor heard or that neighbor heard that she was just saying this so loudly that they heard everything. They overheard everything. They weren't hacking. No. They would never do that. They're innocent. Very, very innocent. Sweet, sweet, innocent people. They would never do that. They would never hack. They would never do anything untoward towards anyone. No. She's drug using. She's crazy. She is. They'll probably go so far as to say they saw me using drugs. But that's okay. Because there are other people around who saw them high. They saw things, it just, I wish this would go to the police, to the courts. I wish this would go to the police, to the courts. So I don't know. I don't know what this is about. I think this is just something that's weird, stupid, but it's very detrimental to me in my health. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what they've done, what I got involved in, what I stepped into, but I know it's gone way overboard. And I think they're now having a lot of fun with it. They're now having a lot of fun with it. This is sheer enjoyment, because I'll tell you something. One of the things I said was I used to send her, the same female who's now trying to kill me, the same female, I used to send her uplifting messages. Like Bob Proctor would say, he said this on The Secret. He was talking about electricity. He said, I don't know how electricity works. Do you know how it works? I don't. So what he does know is that you can use electricity to cook a man's meal, but you can also use that electricity to cook the man. That's the electric chair he's talking about. So with that being said, with this microwaving of me, it's almost like, did I say that? When I said that, did they believe I was referring to them? Like maybe I've seen something or heard something of their activities. Because I'll tell you something. For me to say that and for them to get angry, well, like, what do you think we're doing to you? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Where do you go from that to acquiring something like this to do to me? Where do you go to that, from that, and having a reaction like, who does she think she is? What does she think we're doing to her? That's what would be my reaction. I mean, is she crazy? No, to actually doing it. Where does one go to procure these things to do this? I mean, that's what I want to know. In such a short period of time, they seem to be well equipped. Where did they get all the funding for it? Unless they bought it on credit and to be paid later, or they're, where did they get all of this from in such a short period of time? Because they are doing something to me. Like 2 nights ago, I thought my head and my left leg was going to explode. Like it was pulsating almost. It was going to explode. I don't know what they have. I don't know if they're using the natural iron in the person's blood, and it's causing this. I don't know, because I always feel like the bottom of my feet, like it's something is boiling in there. Like the blood is boiling in there. It feels like it's bubbling up. It's bubbling up. I don't know. What are they going for? To see if I can, how fat I am. If I spontaneously combust, what will happen? What's the end goal with them? Is this now just a fun thing? What is this? How can somebody hate me this much to do this? How is this even possible? I don't know them. If they have an entanglement with the law, it's because of something they did. Not I did it. I'm not trying to frame them. If they have an entanglement with the law, why did they do something to have an entanglement with the law? They need to sort that out with the law. I'm not accusing them of anything. I can't lock them up. I can't take away their freedom. I can't put them in prison. It's almost like they're taking out all the hostility and the animosity on me. But who told them to get into that lifestyle? Is it written somewhere that this is the only path they had to choose? No. They chose that. It was not destined for them. They chose it. But anyway, I just wanted to make, to put this video. I'm sorry that I wasn't intending for it to be this lengthy, but it is. Just, be careful of that angle. Is they will want to make you look like a drug addict. Because they will push you, provoke you, have these outbursts, making you feel pressured, making you feel cornered, making you feel trapped. And I do feel trapped. Why? Because of my financial situation and the fact that I have a website and I can make a website for my particular skill set any time. I can do that today. And I know I've done it within the last year. I created it and then the same thing happened. I created the ad campaign, put it on there, and it's all kinds of things. It just went ineligible. Google will run it for like a day or so and then say it's ineligible. But they're not really giving you a chance to rectify it, no matter what you do. Even the people at Google is puzzled as to why this is ineligible. They don't understand. I created an ad campaign for Bing, Microsoft, which is Yahoo. They didn't even get to run it. They completely closed the account. Why? I don't know. It's like I'm being blacklisted from online. These things, I mean, this is not my imagination. It is happening to me. They're not trying to keep me off online unless it has something to do with my business. Now, if it has something to do with one particular website, did it have something to do with the other website as well? What do they want? What do they want? What does the female think? Well, she's a super psychic. Maybe she crawls my head. So she feels everything I create now is what? Is hers? I don't know. I mean, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But then again, with people as irrational as they are, and as we all know who's suffering from this, as irrational as they are, anything is possible. Anything is, there's like you're dealing with a bunch of degenerate children who you're afraid to poke, because if you're afraid if you say something bad, they'll lash out at you. This is what these gang stalkers are. They're like a bunch of adult degenerate children mentality. And you're afraid to stand up for yourself or say anything because you're feared now you're going to be stirring up a hornet's nest and there's going to be repercussions for it. Because they have no responsibility, no respect, and no sense of taking any type of accountability for their actions. They don't have any. So you can't say something, you can't open your mouth because you become more afraid now. And I know that many of you out there are experiencing this, what I'm saying. You're afraid to say anything because you're afraid there's going to be repercussions at some point. And you can tell, you know what it is. It's either this amped up noises around your house, amped up feelings of being microwaved, amped up feelings of just like this hostility, this animosity coming towards you. I don't know. Because I believe gang stalking is physical, but I also believe it's on a metaphysical level. Because you can use it to metaphysically bring your energy down. Not to mention all the other stuff they're doing is not helping. It's just making matters worse. Like the spritzing, spraying, and if they're putting anything in your food. I mean, there's all these things, all these things that's happening. It just brings your body down, brings your mind down, brings your emotions down. I know you're afraid to retaliate, because if you're afraid, when I say retaliate, I don't mean to go out there and start punching blindly, because you can't, there's no one there. What I mean is you're afraid to even say anything, because if you do, it's like you'll get the hose, as they call it. I refer to that movie, Silence of the Lambs, with Buffalo Bill. If you don't do what Buffalo Bill wants, Buffalo Bill will give you the hose. They'll give you the hose. They'll hose you down. It's almost like every movie, every pivotal scene in the movies, they're bringing it out live and torturing people. But it's my belief. It's just my belief. At some point, it stopped being about whatever the goal was in initially, in the beginning, whether it was monetary or money-making ideas, assets, which is money in the end anyway, valuables, which is equals money in the end anyway, property, which equals money in the end anyway. It's all about money. The goal went from that to this is metamorphosing. These people are becoming like a bunch of Neanderthals, like back in the caveman. They have no structure, they have no order, they have no sense of accountability, they have no sense of responsibility, and they don't care what they do. They're out of control. And the law enforcement needs to help us, because I can't see them doing this to me for over a year for no reason. What have they done? The only thing I could think of is life insurance they tacked on me. I'm not sure. What do I have to do? Call all these people and find out if there's a policy out there with my name on it, which I'm probably going to have to do. Or create a will that says I have no life insurance that I know of, and I will not, is not to be honored. And these there's no beneficiary except for these two. I guess we have to create wills that are specific, that is excluding any gang stalker or anybody we feel is trying to get one over on us. That's another thing we do. Create a will, but put it in writing, in paper, and make sure that you're giving it to a reputable lawyer that you can trust. Maybe make several copies and send them all over the place. That's what I would do. Not that I have anything, but literally I don't have anything, but I don't know, unless, like I said, there's life insurance. So I just wanted to put that out there, because for me the situation is it's serious, and I'm looking for practically what could possibly be happening, and what's hiding under the whatever it is. Each group, each person out there, the individuals around them, the circumstances are different, the situations are different, whatever the people are looking for is different. But the point is, they're all hiding under this whole individual targeting or targeted individual or gang stalking umbrella. It's just hiding under the umbrella. Like people hiding under the umbrella of COVID. They're all hiding under the umbrella of this big, broad, amoeba-shaped thing called gang stalking. You don't know where it begins and where it ends. But individual cases, there are people out there like me who have things that they want. End of story. So I just I'm going to close this now because it's getting lengthy, and just stay safe and talk to someone and make sure some people, people know what's going on. Even if they don't listen to you, at least tell them. And don't get paranoid. Don't get paranoid. When they do stupid shit, don't get paranoid. Eventually, that'll get old and passe. And it'll stop. Hopefully. But then don't be afraid to speak your truth either. Because I know sometimes some of you will be afraid to speak. Because you're afraid the repercussions are going to be too much. Don't be afraid.